Do you wanna?
Let's do the pledge, no, we start.
Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all. So we are here at the Historic Preservation Commission meeting, Monday, July 6th, 2026. It is 7:01 p.m. I'm gonna quickly take roll and then acting chair, we get started.
Great.
Catherine Wilson, here. Ethan Alter, here. Jason Sia,
Here.
Michael Bambino, here. And acting chair Gospel.
Here.
Doke. Our first item on the agenda tonight is HPC 04-2026, 159 Main Street, Grant Iconic Ventures LLC. Applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for wall-mounted signage and facade alteration for the proposed wellness business and adult use cannabis dispensary. Young man, if you would mind introducing yourself.
Thank you, Fernando. Sorry, thank you for the project. Just,
Do you want to stand that up?
yeah. This project,
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, if you
oh, I
want- they could probably see it if you call it there, right? Now. See it?
So, this project, we had already a certificate for appropriateness for the project. At the point, for the property, not yet.
Yeah.
But we have come back. And it's a different use in the interior, but the exterior is all the same. So we're not making any changes to what you have previously approved. The only change is gonna be that we have a new sign. And we show you the sign there. It's gonna be,
Is this the same as what you provided in?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna show it up there just so you guys
Yes,
don't have.
no,
to-
no, that's, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was something different, so maybe this is easier. Is this easier, Carlos?
Yeah. So the one thing that the board had concentrated the last time was, and that's why I wrote this picture, that there's already a store that was done before, adjacent to us, and we worked hard the last time, all of us, to make sure that we kind of match what was already at the adjacent, and that's what we had done here. So that was the result of the last time around. And again, the only thing that we have changed from that is the sign.
I see, so where the existing sign is that says shine, there's gonna be a new sign that says panacea?
Yes.
Okay.
It is 24 by 91? Yes, 24 inches by 90.
And this was the location that was gonna be like a frozen yogurt
Yeah,
shop.
it was gonna be.
So maybe about a year ago
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
last looked at this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause the other logo, the K something
KD
is for.
Yes.
To attack people in the second
Oh.
floor.
KD
Yeah.
is for the second floor, yes.
Mhm.
I think that took us a while.
Oh, I see, my mistake. I didn't see the sign on the drawing the first time. I just saw the two blind, my mistake.
And you guys are still proposing eliminating like that deep vestibule entrance?
Yes.
Is there anything else that the board would like to take a look at? You want to see Google Street View? Do you want to see?
Everything,
Can we approve that? The removal of the deep entry? Cause
Yes.
wasn't there a restaurant that was gonna do it and then they decided not to?
no, that was approved,
Oh,
yeah.
I think they were gonna do the doors that open all the way. I remember that, like
We
to have
kind
it
of went
opening.
back and forth the type of doors, so
mhm.
we want to make sure that everything was the same, to the adjacent property.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
So it's really just this sign here
Mm-hmm.
and then what member Sia is bringing up and then we know about the bringing it forward. That's a carryover from the last application of this
Yeah.
property.
If you go back, I mean, if you go back to the drawing, I mean, it was everything to match 161, which is the adjacent. property when I'm dealing with the top. The top is the second floor, it's staying as it is. I think, now that I remember, we did have originally, like a double door, and we did switch it to a single door in order to match the adjacent. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a couple iterations.
Yeah, we used to have a double, door. And we opted for this, so it matched the adjacent property.
Yeah, because I think even a project before KD was, you were just looking at the KD building, even though it was a whole two facade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I recall.
Where it says existing sign to remain, is that where Shine was, or is, which one was Shine? The other one.
Oh,
So
yeah,
what's the sign on?
yeah, that's,
Just Shine's gonna stay.
So that's Shine.
yeah.
So but Shine's gone, right?
Oh, I don't know, because there,
I think there's a parent sign.
Shine is no longer in business, but I think
Because that sign was actually never, it was like a,
it was a banner.
yeah, it was like a banner.
Yeah,
So I was wondering, what is your new sign? What are the, is that?
it's, if you go. Gonna be, black and white, we have it's 2 inches thick, it's gonna be, yeah, just,
The letters?
yeah, just,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be a banner or anything.
that's good.
Yeah,
I think the next off letter. Or-
yeah.
Okey-doke. Are there any other questions? Anything else the board would like to see at this time?
Don't think so.
Okay, so the request tonight is for a certificate of appropriateness for the mounted signage and facade alterations. Do I have a motion?
I will motion.
Aaron, second? Second. So Jason first, Baron. We'll do a quick roll call. Captain Wilson. Ethan Alter. Michael Bavino. Jason Sia. I'm Chair Gospel. Okay, certificate of appropriateness. Will be making its way towards you. Please don't do anything until you have the resolution and a sign permit.
We will.
Okay,
You're welcome, thank you.
thanks.
See you again.
Okay, our second application tonight is HPC 05-2026 for Still Court. Gregory Sutherland is the owner and the applicant is seeking a certificate of appropriateness for the installation of a utility approved grid intertied, left mounted, roof mounted solar installation. We have two guests with us on Zoom, no one else in the room. Dana or Joanna, if this is your application, would you raise your virtual hand so I can bring you over? Joanna, right.
When you know they were my approximate street name.
Oh, no. Joanna, I have brought you over as a panelist. If you would be so kind to unmute and turn on your camera, and tell us a little bit about the project you're proposing.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me? Or actually, good evening.
Yes, we see you and hear you.
Yay. Okay, so the application is for solar panels and it's 18 panels. Do you guys want me to share my screen or do you want to share what we have submitted?
I'll share it for you. Just getting caught up. Give me one moment.
Sure, take your time.
So this is the house.
This is the side view. I believe that is the back view, yes.
Yeah.
So first one is just like the introduction to everything. On page 2, you'll see the layout for the solar panels on the front roof. And it's 18 panels and they are, I believe the system size is 410. Yes. And then the equipment will be, I guess, if you're looking to the house from the street, it'll be on the right side where it says AC/DC. This is where the equipment will be placed for the shutoff valve and the meters. And the conduit line will be run depending on how the figures are on the side of the house, not visible from the front unless it has to be. And then this is like another clear shot of the front, plus information for the stringing and the systems and the meters, along with the material list and certain specs of the system and all the emergency labels and disconnects.
That's what I was looking for.
Mhm.
And it's a black panel. And I don't think we have pest guards on this.
So back to the panel. And Joanna, I'm sorry, your relationship to the application is what?
Sorry, I am the permitting manager here at Trinity Solar.
Gotcha, thank you.
So the panels have a black frame and all the hardware is black?
Yes, the racking system is black as well.
Okay. And, what about all the equipment that's gonna be mounted to the side of the house? It looks like it's gonna be on the east side of the house, which is what you see the most, that's almost more visible than the front. Cause when you drive up Still Court, the house almost has two fronts, actually.
So it'll be on the same side as where the meter is based on building and fire code. It's only allowed to be a certain amount of feet away from where the emergency disconnect, the master, what is it, the MSP, where it's got to go inside and lock into. I believe it's about, I want to say less than 5 feet or something like that.
I
So
see,
if you
so on that, yeah, Trinity, so it's gonna be in addition
right
to all
about
the
here,
rest of that stuff that's there?
correct.
What, next street?
No, not at all.
I just think.
I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah, yeah.
I love bringing you up street.
Yeah.
Hang on one.
You will? Yeah.
Go up the hill and then roll. Wait.
Oh, you're
Go up somewhere. Drive.
Is that this little
Yeah.
dog leg here?
Little side
right there, it's just past that blue house, yeah. You can go up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to mess with it earlier so I could see where it was too. Now I see it's in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at it. Another one. Look at drawing. So all of the wires, conduits and apparatus, they're gonna come over the roof and down that side of the house. What color will they be?
So usually the conduit is a silver and they put the emergency red labels for every couple of feet based on the fire code.
But
I
you're
think
also.
I do think there's a house that I saw next door. And basically it would look the same. It's just basically the red system rapid shutdown, that it's a live wire, the warning labels. Oh, If you
Actually,
go
that
back
was a
to that,
picture of it.
if you go
That
back
was a
to it,
picture of-
there was a picture on the left,
Yeah.
right here.
This guy.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the conduit wire.
The one will be coming down off the roof, off the break edge.
Yeah.
Coming down.
Because God forbid there's a fire, the fire department needs to know it's a live wire. So what the disconnect does is shut down the live wire, and then they're able
Oh,
to.
no, I understood. Yeah. Is there any way that they could get routed so that it's tucked on the north side of the chimney? When it comes off the roof? See where the chimney is by the solar dish?
Okay,
If it was
you
hidden
want it
behind
hidden
that,
behind it?
yeah, as much as possible, because I think it will look a lot better from the street. There's already a lot of stuff there as it is.
Yeah.
It looks kind of ratty.
Well, they also put in, there's a.
So it'll come.
piping there, so it's
We
getting
can try
more
to hide it
projectile
as
for
much as we can on the back, just so you understand. Then at the bottom, it will have to probably come across the bottom.
Yeah.
If you're okay with
Yeah,
that.
I don't know, do you guys think that's better? Or?
Well, I don't know, when we did mine, it's mine on the garage, they went underground and we came in, or my house, and then went in the garage, get in the basement, down to the panel, connected, and then popped out to the disconnection. So. As you were going with it, yeah, I think the conduit would be better to come down on the north side there, because there's a setback on the rig edge, as you can see, so it's like
Yeah.
either they're gonna drill through the roof and go straight down, which they probably won't.
Right.
So that means they're gonna have to do bend to get around back to the house, and it's gonna look
Yeah.
wonky. Official term.
Yeah.
Official term.
Yeah.
They try to make the aesthetics as clean as possible so it doesn't look too wonky.
And then all the equipment we mounted down along the walls of the foundation there,
Yeah,
Correct.
next to the
meter pan.
meter and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so usually you have your
Where
inverter
the,
box. If you go
Panel
back
right
to
on
the,
the other side of the meter pan.
Side, yeah.
Is there something else you'd like me to be showing right now? Joanna?
if you go back to the drawing, sorry. Yep, and scroll up to, I think it was the second page or third page. You'll see where the equipment is placed. Go up a little more. Right about there. So where the panels are on the front porch, you'll see them right next to the meter. So it's the meter, and then the disconnect is what they have laid out, and then I guess the inverter next to that. So it'll look lined up clean right next to each other.
Get it on the off the roof. Keep it to the north would be good.
Yeah.
The rest of it's gotta go where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So is that the consensus of the board that you'd like it to be on the more northern?
Unless they can run, so run the conduit on the inside, get the panel, get the panel on the inside. Then put their transformer and all that,
Yeah.
where it's gonna be fine.
Side, yeah. It's still gonna have to get back to the,
Yeah, they gotta put the other side on the outside, so it's just gonna have to sit next to the existing pan.
I think if they can tuck behind the chimney and get as much of it out of our sight, it seems the most reasonable, I think. There's some stuff there already, it's not, but, you guys feel the same?
Yeah, it's too bad there's not a foundation of the equipment.
That's on, yeah.
Be nice to see, especially if they do run it, if they can run it down the side. Just to see how they connect it back. Oh.
Yeah.
But I did, sealing it as much as possible.
How large are the conduits?
It's really thin. It's not that thick. It's almost like a lamppost, like pipe that it kind of looks like and reflects. It's not even an inch thick.
Not the wall, the diameter of the conduit, is it a 4 inch conduit, is it a 1 inch, is it a 6 inch? How
No, it's
large?
about a one. It's about a 1 inch thick, like circle that it goes through.
Okay, alright, I see, so that's the one with the red tape on it, that's gonna run down from the roof behind the chimney and then have to go horizontal over to the equipment next to the meter.
Correct.
So of the stuff on the screen, which pieces are gonna be exterior, which pieces are gonna be interior?
So the conduit to the left, obviously, is the first piece of equipment outside. If you scroll up a little bit, because the screen's a little wonky, on the second row is the top disconnect. This is going to be outside as well. And then if you scroll down, that goes inside. That's part of the MSP. These are the solar meter sockets. Usually those are inside. There's nothing outside other than the conduit, the shutoff switch, and then the white box all the way to the right, which is your inverter. Which is yep, right there.
Okay, how large is that inverter?
I want to say about 2 feet wide and maybe 2 to 3 feet high. It looks like a monitor screen almost. I can get the exact dimensions for you. If they're not in here, I think they are.
And that connects directly to the meter, or what is that?
So that's the inverter. That's wired into
Right.
the solar panels.
Right, so the conduit from the solar panels comes down, goes into the inverter. And then what comes out, where does something come out of the inverter? Inside or outside?
So it gets penetrated through the wall to go inside
Okay,
to the MSP.
so we'd only see one conduit going into the inverter,
Yes.
not one going in and 3 or 4 going out.
So the inverter on the
No.
outside.
Yeah, so the inverter has one conduit going into it. That's
So,
it.
yeah, so I guess then the question is then does the inverter can stay down on the north side of the chimney on that end? Cause then it's gotta go inside, across the pan, then it can go inside to the panel, and then come back out to the disconnect.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, if the inverter could be on the north side of the chimney as well, then that's gonna help keep a lot of things hidden. And it'd probably be an easier conduit run on the inside than the outside anyway,
Yeah.
cause you don't have to go around the chimney.
I think, I'm just recollecting my setup, cause it comes off the roof through the garage inside, pokes out, goes into the inverter.
Mhm.
There's a disconnect there, comes out of the disconnect, goes underground, over to the house,
Yeah.
into the basement, to the panel,
Yeah,
and connects to the line side feed, and then somehow they worked it back out, there's another disconnect just below my meter point for that. I'm thinking similar setup to run it the same way, you would only have one other disconnect next to the meter pan on the outside, and all the other kit can stay north, and then it would just be a straight shot down to the top of the inverter.
okay.
You might thought for them, you know, if they have to go around on the outside, that's one thing, because I know their basement is finished, but I don't, just recall that side inside. How congested that is,
Right,
because I think the boiler is right there at the chimney, obviously, so.
yeah. Do we feel like, yeah, I know, I've been in the house, yeah, I know that, yeah, we both know the old neighbors, so we're both familiar with the house. Okay, for those of us that aren't as familiar, do we think we need an elevation? Or we can,
I mean, it would be nice, but
Yeah, that doesn't seem where everything's going.
Yeah,
Especially if it's even feasible, like the
yeah,
way you're talking about
right, yeah. I think, Joanna, we think that we wanna see a diagrammatic elevation. Give us an idea where all the equipment's gonna be and how it's gonna be routed. Cause there's already a lot of stuff on that house as it is, and we don't wanna make the problem worse. We don't have to.
Okay. I have photos of existing systems that you can see where the inverter like disconnects come out on the bottom and kind of hidden. Do you just want them like live photos added to the plans or just like sketched out drawings?
I think it's sketched out drawing showing at least the elevation for the first like floor or two. No,
Okay.
it doesn't need to be the whole, I mean, cause if we know that the conduit's gonna go up the back of the chimney. Just to see how it's all laid out on the side of the house.
Okay.
And as much stuff as can be inside the house, the better.
Absolutely. Again, the inverter, like I told you in the disconnect shut off is basically fire code and why we have to have it
Yeah,
outside.
understood.
But
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, so it sounds like the applicant, has their marching orders. Do I have a motion to adjourn this to the August meeting of the HPC?
Motion to adjourn.
Ethan, can I have a second?
Second. You're Captain.
Okay.
We do meet in August?
Yes, so we meet in August, September, October, and November. We're skipping December.
Okay, all right, okay.
All right, Joanna, so we will see you, back here at the August meeting, and please, make that submission as soon as possible to Jamie Kane, who I think you've been working with already, okay?
But otherwise, I think the panel and all the other stuff is,
You
Yeah,
got it. Thank you so much.
you're welcome, thank you.
thank you.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your night.
Bye.
Yeah, that's the other thing, also, the plaster stickers all over.
Yeah, stickers are really objectionable, all the red decals all over, that's just, yeah. I want the fire department to be safe, be safe, yeah.
Okay. Having a hard time removing Joanna.
Because the other thing is also, you know, I just kind of showed it diagrammatically, but there's also on photo, there's a lot of stuff there too. So
Yeah,
then it's gonna be, I can't put it there, I'm gonna put it somewhere.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that completes the board's new business for this evening. We have one item under additional business of the board, and that is discussion fences in Sparta HADD. Okay.
The last meeting I was at, the one prior, I think, was when this came up, and I think we kind of discussed it somewhat at length, and I thought that it probably wasn't a bad idea to
Mm-hmm.
come under our purview, but I think it just needs to be limited in terms of scope and breadth, so that we don't get tasked with the rest of the town.
You couldn't possibly, so just to recap, I don't remember who was here and who wasn't. The issue came up about, if fences to any degree, and to what degree, if so, should be regulated by the HPC in historic districts. That's the entire scope of your work.
Mhm.
And what was recommended by Corporation Council is if the majority of the board feels that that's something that you would like to go forward with, we would be working to draft a recommendation to the Board of Trustees for inclusion in the village code. So it has to be a little bit more dynamic of a conversation than like, yes, we want this. But it has to, you know, I suspect working with Valerie or perhaps one of the staff members to really make sure that your thoughts are memorialized in the way that you would like it for that presentation.
Mhm.
So do you wanna is there anything that you wanna sort of put out now? I mean, I know we had the discussion about what a potential fence may look like in certain areas, but what is sort of on the radar?
The other thing I was thinking about today was, you know, we have the architectural guidelines for historic districts, do this, don't do that. You know, I think whatever we sort of spelled out already as far as I think fences
Okay,
were included in that to some degree.
so you basically just like to codify what's in the
Yeah,
Or-
what we've already have sort of, set the groundwork for, I think would probably be sufficient for, what we wanna take a look at instead of, people just running off and doing whatever they
Do you
want.
mind if I call that up on the screen now, so we can,
Sure.
does everyone have a couple minutes to go through this? One moment.
Even if you look at the house, you can see it on Highlands, sort of, I don't think it's a historic house, but it, because of an older vintage.
Oh,
they
hi.
took the railing off and they put on a cable
What kind
style railing on the front porch, and it's kind of like, that was really weird. It's like, it would have looked better on a different house, I was like, so it's kind of like, but that's like a porch railing, but it's like, not the same vein of, you just really can't do whatever you want because you like that style.
Hello there.
Especially if it's gonna change the character a little, because then the house next door has a really sort of detailed front railing, and they have the skirt down below, and the house next door, you're like, what's that? Who approved that one?
So we've been joined by our esteemed corporation counsel, Stuart Hahn. Stuart, we're done with new business. We are talking now about the additional business, which is the discussion of fences in Sparta HADD. It is the will of, at least the majority of the folks sitting here, I haven't heard from everyone, that they would in fact like to take this up as a recommendation to the Board of Trustees. Member Sia's recommendation, was pretty simple, to basically go to the design guidelines and codify that, so does anyone have anything additional that they would like to add while I search for that under pressure?
we just talked about the location of a 1-inch conduit for 20 minutes. It seems silly that the HPC wouldn't also review fences in the historic district. I don't think that we should opine on what is and what isn't allowed any more than what's already here.
Good.
It can be a case by case discussion. This is a guidance, just like everything else in the historic district is, and I think it could be as simple as that, but.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I thought the design guidelines kind of spell it out pretty clearly.
yeah, I think it's case by case, it just needs to come before the HPC if there's a fence.
Okay, so just quickly reading the dues, if the fence is required, it should be low, so the house behind is visible from the street. Use wood and dark metal, wrought iron or similar, avoid plastic and chain link fencing. You cannot find documentation of an original fence to replicate the electric form known to have been used in the period of your house. Paint or stain a wooden fence to complement the colors of your house. Raw wood fences were put up in rural areas in the time span of the district, but they are uncommon in suburbanizing communities like Sparta. For a metal fence, assume a simple iron picket fence to be appropriate unless you have a specific documentation of a more elaborate wrought iron fence on your property. To keep pets and children in the front yard, attach dark colored vinyl coated wire mesh behind a traditional slat or board fence. If needed to hide non-historic elements from public view, build board or lattice privacy panels in traditional forms. Each panel should have a wooden frame. Unless you have historic images from your property showing the lattice grid in a diagonal orientation, the lattice grid should be installed on vertical horizontal axes. Lattice should be stained or painted to harmonize with the colors of your house. Locate these enclosures toward the rear of the property. See lattice. So do we think that that's something that we could?
So, just so it's clear to me, I apologize, I had loads of fun at parking courts. It's like, if you've seen The Godfather, where Michael Corleone goes, they keep trying to get at him, they keep pulling me back. I literally had my coat on and people kept walking on me. I'm going, but the question is, do you want this codified in the code, or do you want simply to say fences are within your purview, refer to design guidelines? That's fine.
And that requires recommendation to the Board of Trustees and the Board of Trustees to.
Yeah, well, we do it, we would write it up. I can write that up, I'll send it to all you folks. Then, we'll probably have it at a work session with the Board of Trustees. One of you could come in and just explain it. It then goes to the planning board because all zoning text changes go there. Assuming they're fine with it, and I can't see that they would have any objection to it. It would go to the Board of Trustees, they'd hold a public hearing, and then assuming they vote positively, it gets voted in.
Okay, and we're not gonna distinguish between front yard, rear yard, side yard fences. We're just gonna say fences in the historic.
Yeah, but I think the village code already stipulates front yard, side yard, rear yard type of you can't have it more than this, that's already spelled out.
The height requirement's already there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a common violation that they write anyway, so we can.
Okay. Great.
Okay, so is everyone comfortable
Yep.
with what's been described, and we'll get working on that, it might take a month or two on our end because of all the steps involved.
Yeah.
But it's with the,
We're good.
it's with the master. Is there any additional business of the board this evening? Okay, could I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All right, time is 7:36 p.m.
Yeah.
Good night, trustee Lloyd.